Who watched or read Bungo Stray Dogs and thought that Kaiji would be the perfect fan favorite character to include? Hello everybody. I haven't made a video in a while and a lot of stuff happened, so let's talk about all that. So first and foremost, I want to give a huge big thank you to B Black Phoenix for shouting me out in a short.
Next we have Endernux IDV, who covers all the latest Identity V news and small updates the game gives us. A great way of staying on top of all the new content.
And anyone who subscribed to me from that, thanks, welcome guys. I'm nowhere near as interesting as I was talked up to be, and I definitely don't cover news on time, so maybe don't come to me for your Identity V news. But what I do talk about things that interest me sometimes if I remember to make videos, so if you like that, thanks for subscribing to me. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, hello to everyone who's here for that. Thanks for that. Second of all, yeah, Bungo Stray Dogs. A lot has happened with Bungo Stray Dogs Part 2 that I haven't gotten the time nor energy to talk about yet. Again, not very on time with my news posts. But yeah, I've seen all that stuff, and let's talk about that. Let's address that. So first and foremost, I was incredibly wrong on my I was fairly wrong on my Bungo Stray Dogs predictions for Part 2. Of course, I was right on Chuya, Prospector. I've been saying since day one that I wanted Chuya to be Prospector, so if you're wondering, I am very, very happy to see that. They released the gameplay footage for the characters earlier today, I believe, at the time of recording this, and they all look great. And of course, Higuchi was coordinator. I was correct on that front, and Kaji was acrobat. But those were the fairly simple picks, so of course, I'm very, very happy with them. Again, I was wrong about the billboard being a false lead, but I'm not upset by any means of that. I really think that they're good picks, and they all look great. The models look great. The characters look great. Now let's talk about Akutagawa being Seer. In my initial predictions video, I had said that I had said a couple things that I thought he could be, none of which were Seer. And I even got some comments that had, some other things. I saw Professor being mentioned a couple times in the comments. And I think all of those were good ideas for him. I think he's a very versatile character that could fit any of the different characters in Identity V if you work it a certain way. But I think that Seer was a good pick, and I think that he looks really good. Of course, he will be the S tier in the essence, along with the A tiers of Kaji as Acrobat, Higuchi as Coordinator, and Hirotsu as Magician, which surprised me because, again, I believe I said in my initial video that honestly it would make the most sense ability-wise if we're speaking purely in terms of ability for Hirotsu to be Prospector, but of course, again, as I said in that first predictions video, Chuya makes so much more sense, and I'm glad that they did go with that. So Magician is an interesting choice. It's not what I would have expected, but I really didn't have any expectations at all, and I think it's definitely a win for the people who like Magician and want skins for him, because I don't think Magician really is a character that you see a lot of crossover content for, or really content for at all, and I think it's nice for the lesser played characters to get some love, especially in this crossover setting, since usually it is those same mercenary prisoner lineups. And I think that we have a very well-rounded cast for this second half of Bungo Stray Dogs, and so I am very excited about it. I do think in the case of Rashomon, it does look a little goofy as the owl on Seer, especially how it moves. It doesn't look like it was animated separately. It looks like it's just kind of attached to him, but it's kind of charming in a way. I think it's nice. Yeah, honestly, I am, if you were wondering my opinion, you're probably here for news, but I started it with my opinion anyway, so that's how we do things here. This is not scripted. They're never scripted. Very rarely do I script my videos, and it shows. Let's talk about real quick what we can expect in this crossover, this part 2 crossover. As I already said, we will be getting an essence on the logic path, which I believe should start right the beginning next season on February 1st or 2nd, depending on what time zone you're in. And this will, of course, have the Seer S tier Akutagawa as the S tier, and the acrobat, magician, and coordinator costumes for the other 3 that I've already mentioned. And one little note is that after the end of the crossover, this essence will be replaced by the season essence again, and I believe it goes until March 1st, so almost an entire month's worth of the crossover. I believe similar to part 1, if I recall. Now here's, of course, if you've been watching my content and you keep up with me, you know I'm very, very excited to hear that the Prospector S tier costume for my favorite character, Chiya Nakahara, will be in the shop. Now, of course, that is very unfortunate because it will be Echoes only, so for those free-to-play, I hope you can get someone to gift it to you. And of course, there is a package that comes with his S accessory, Red Wine, and there is a package discount of 32%, and that package will be 3,268 Echoes. Now, of course, you can get them separately with the costume at the typical 2,888 and the accessory at the typical 1,888, and those will be there for the same, time frame. I'm very interested in the crossover event, the Visitor of the Night, because it seems like, just like in the last crossover, we will be getting a little story, but this time, hopefully, we will have all of the Port Mafia that are here in the crossover participating, rather than last time where it was very apparent that was cut a little short. And similar to the Tiger Tail from last time, Akutagawa will be getting an accessory, which is the mobile phone that can be upgraded to A tier with tokens and upgraded to S tier with some additional Echoes purchases. And again, this is all during the same time frame of the crossover. And for anyone who missed the first part of Bungo Stray Dogs, never fret, because pretty much everything's returning, it seems like. Dazai, his accessory, Atsushi and his accessory are returning. However, unlike in part 1, the accessory will now be for Echoes only. Essentially, that event is over, so you will only be able to get that B accessory through Echoes only. And something that I thought was very, very interesting is that if you log in, you will actually still get the free Rompo in this part 2. So, however, if you already got Rompo during the first part, of course, you won't be getting Rompo again. You can't, get a dupe of a costume. So, you will not receive the reward if you already own Rompo. But again, if you missed that first crossover and, you want to log in during this time and you didn't get Rompo last time, well, here you go. Here's your chance. He will be here again, which is very exciting because it's Rompo. He's great. Actually, if you're keeping up with the series, the actual anime, they put out season 4. Season 4 is out now, and there's some pretty Rompo-centric episodes. I've only watched the first one because I just haven't had time, and I don't know their schedule. I don't know how many are out yet, so I'm sorry, I'm a bad Bungo Stray Dogs fan. But the first episode was really good. So if you like Bungo Stray Dogs and you didn't know about that for some reason, go watch them. And then Mercenaries, Tiger Tail, like I said, is coming back, but you can still upgrade it to A and S tier. Similarly as last time, but this time the tokens can basically only be obtained through Echoes, so like I said, it's just paying for that. There is also a lucky roll with some of the portraits and graffitis from the first event that you can get. It's a lucky roll, so I believe that will take, I don't recall if it's fragments or sealing wax or what it is, but I think you can use fragments on that. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that. I'm hopeful you can for all those people who missed that and want that and don't want to, pay. And it seems that they're going to rerun the story from the first part without any of the rewards. So if you weren't there again for the first part, they're basically rerunning everything. A couple things, like a couple small things like Atsushi's accessory are now Echoes only, but it seems like most of the things are coming back. So if you missed part 1, part 2 is the time to play, because you'll basically be getting nearly everything from everything, especially if you have Echoes to spare. So yeah, this was kind of disjointed. I was kind of just going over some stuff, but I wanted to talk about this because I know that you guys like my Bungo Stray Dogs content and it gets me the most views, so that's awesome for me. And yeah, I was super wrong. I am very actually still surprised that they never did Geisha Koyo. I don't know if there's a reason for that, and I know a lot of people seem, to be in the same boat as me, wondering why they didn't, but I am happy with the cast we've got. I have no idea if we'll be getting a third part or anything else for for Bungo Stray Dogs X85. I would love to see the guild in a part 3. I'm very adamant that that Edgar Allan Poe would be delightful as Postman with his raccoon as the post dog. But, you know, that's just my wishful thinking. I really couldn't say if they have anything else planned. And, you know, if they do, of course, I'll make predictions and cover that when available. But it's coming soon. It's coming very soon, I believe, just a week away. But yeah, that is pretty much it for my opinions on the cast and the updated information. Of course, I will absolutely be buying Chuya and his accessory. I've been waiting for the skin for so long. And if you plan to do the same, make sure you use that Lunar New Year discount because it's going to be way, way, way cheaper, and that's going to be better for everyone. So, you know, be grateful if you do spend money on this game that this came out around that time, because that's going to, you know, definitely save some bucks. And, you know, let me know what you think. If you know, had wanted different characters. I know quite a few people have been in my comments saying that they wanted characters like, you know, Koyo, Kyoka, Q, you know, just a ton of other characters to make an appearance. And, you know, I'd love to hear your opinions on, you know, if they were to appear, who would they be? And what do you think a theoretical part 3 would look like? I may do, you know, more stuff on that. Even if we never get a part 3, it's kind of fun to theorize on. And at some point, I want to know what's going on with Angels of Death, because we've heard pretty much nothing about that, and I want to remake my predictions for that, but I don't know when it's going to come out, so I have no idea if I'll do that before we get more information or not, but they've been pretty radio silent on that, so, you know, different tangent, but if you want to talk about that, tell me about that too, because I'm kind of curious. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you do celebrate the Lunar New Year, happy New Year, happy Year of the Rabbit. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and thank you again so much to Be Black Phoenix for shouting me out. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. You were actually the first identified YouTuber I started watching. So, you know, it's kind of like full circle. It really does mean a lot to me. And, you know, go check out those other people in that video if you know, happen to have come here from that. So, thank you, and good night, Tri-State area.